Bossy. I have not seen you at the fitness club in a while. How are you doing? I am upset and depressed. I do not feel like working out. I am sorry to hear that. Why are you upset? Do not ask. Too late. I already have. So tell me. That is what friends are for. Non-monogamous Bob lied to me. He is not non-monogamous. He is a serial monogamist. I am confused. Wouldn't you rather have a monogamous commitment for a while than keep doing sex without a relationship? Maybe. If he wanted monogamy with me, but he doesn't, is he dumping you for somebody else, a gymnast? I guess every man has a fantasy about acrobatic sex. This is not funny, Mildred. You are right, Bossy. This must be terribly painful for you. When did you find out? A couple of weeks ago. What happened? Bob came to my house, apparently wanting to have farewell sex. He said that he was really glad to see me, and we needed to talk. He was acting strange, telling me how much he cares. What do you mean he was acting strange? He seemed nervous and kept saying that he missed me, and that he had been wanting to talk to me for a while, because he needed to change the arrangement. Yes, it was. He said other women are too conservative and boring. I thought he wanted to see me more often, but he was afraid to say so. But when I said he was welcome to call me more often, he accused me of trying to change the deal on him. He said that I was acting like we were in a relationship, and he never wanted to be in a relationship with me. He said he felt trapped. That must have really hurt. Yes. I have always respected his freedom and given him space. When he said he missed me and really cared and other women bore him, I thought I was giving him too much space. But when I offered to see him more often, he ended it. How weird is that? Who knows why men do the things they do? Apparently Bob wants hot, juicy, deep, meaningful sex with every woman he is attracted to, and he will say or do anything necessary to make it happen, regardless of what he has told another lover. Sounds like his penis is doing the talking. A lot of men are like that, right? He is unavailable when he is interested in someone new. You poor thing. Men like Bob are predictable, and unpredictable, too. They let women lead them around like bulls with rings in their noses, if they think they can get sex. No kidding. Once they get sex from you, they can't remember your phone number if another woman comes along who seems to be interested. If things don't work out to have sex with her, they come back and treat you like royalty again, to get more sex from you. Perhaps you should ask for a monogamous commitment. When I do that, I feel obligated to have sex whenever they want it, regardless of whether or not I am in the mood. Why? Because men have a sense of entitlement to sex if they make a monogamous commitment. And if you don't service them whenever they want it, they are grouchy and passive-aggressive. They think sex is a duty. Obligatory sex is no fun. You are right about that. But is great sex worth all the pain you are having now? It would be, if men understood what it takes to satisfy a woman, and they were willing to stay on task and build enough trust and intimacy, instead of hammering like jackhammers before running into the arms of another woman. Is satisfying sex more important to you than a satisfying relationship, Bossy? Satisfying sex is the foundation of a satisfying sexual relationship. Otherwise it is nothing but friendship. Both are important. Do you think Bob is a sex addict? I actually think it is love that he is craving. He just doesn't know how to generate sexual passion with his heart, and he substitutes sex for love. That explains why he hungers to have sex with women he has never had. Yes. Sex is the only kind of intimacy he understands. He has never felt passion that is fueled by heartfelt intimacy. That is why he uses fantasies and a variety of women to fuel his erections. That is how he spices things up. Why was he acting all weird, and saying how much he cared, that he missed you and all, if he intended to end it? I guess he is trying to establish a circuit, so he can play with rotating lovers, in order to sustain his sexual interest. What do you mean, establish a circuit? He flits from one woman to another for the sake of variety. Good lovers are few and far between. He knows that. When the sex is really great, he cherishes his lover and wants to hold on to her. Why does he crave sex with somebody new, if he knows it is unlikely to be very good sex? Subconsciously he knows he will eventually lose the ability to get an erection without sufficient intimacy. He gets it from variety instead of creative connection. If he has sex with somebody else for a while, then gives you another turn, it is like having a new lover to him. I see what you mean. You think he is starting a club that is open to his favorite lovers, so he can take turns having sex with all of them, right? That is his fantasy. To set up a circuit. He also needs a permanent stable relationship because he is a human being. But he fears erectile dysfunction, which is eventually inevitable, and he cannot sustain passion with intimacy. Poor Bob. I feel sorry for him, don't you? No. He is clueless about where this will lead, and simply enjoys the variety. I miss him, and I feel sorry for me. Aren't you better off without a guy like this? Maybe. But, what do you mean, maybe? Are you crazy, perhaps? What are you thinking? I am thinking Bob is like a little kid. He has a bobo that is easy to forget by playing around with a box of fancy band-aids. But he is afraid to clean out the wound, because that would hurt. So eventually it will fester, and fancy band-aids won't make it all better anymore. But for now, Bob is perfectly content playing with his box of fancy band-aids. And he has not interest in cleaning out the wound that is causing him to need them. And what about you? I am sad, disheartened, and afraid. I am losing hope that mutual sexual satisfaction is even possible because men are so afraid of genuine intimacy. But I thought you said the sex with Bob was great? Yes, but it was far from satisfying. I thought satisfaction might be possible for us, but our intentions did not align. I was hoping he was capable of loyalty and devotion and appreciation of an open arrangement that honored and respected his need for variety. But he is not. He is loyal and devoted to his sexual whims only. His need to have sex with someone new, who wanted a monogamous commitment, required him to leave before I had a sense of completion. He will leave all women in a state of tumescence, unless he figures out what is going on. That is so bad. Yes, it is. The ancient mystery schools taught that when a species is presented with the opportunity for sexual enlightenment, fails to achieve it, it evolves into a hive. I suspect the human race, as we know it, is on the precipice of extermination. That is such a horrible thought, and so depressing. Are you sure about this hive stuff? How could the human species evolve into a hive? What do you mean by sexual enlightenment? Sexual enlightenment is a physical phenomenon that opens the portal of eternal bliss. Do you know what entrainment is? No. I never heard of it. Entrainment is when two entities that are vibrating independently begin to have an effect on one another. A new and unique shared vibration is created as a result of the synchronicity. And what does this have to do with sex? Sexual enlightenment occurs because two people consciously and deliberately blend their sexual vibrations in this manner and a sacred tremor results. It is a conduit. Guys like Bob don't even believe in sexual enlightenment. You cannot achieve something you do not believe in. Commitment to a purpose like that is the love Bob is craving. Basking in the sacred tremor opens the stargate. True lovers may step off the wheel of karma, if they so choose, and enter the state of nirvana eternally. Okay, now you've lost me. I am a Baptist, not a Buddhist. Can you put this in Western terms? Yes. Deep in the heart of every sexually reproducing human being there is the inherent longing to connect with another human being and blend orgasmic energy, which is the key to sexual enlightenment. A sacred sexual union has nothing to do with putting a ring on someone's finger and having a piece of paper that entitles you to half of someone's assets. I hear you. Perhaps that is why the divorce rate is so high. Sexual enlightenment occurs because two people consciously and deliberately choose to become one soul resonating in two bodies. That is how you ignite the sacred tremor and open a stargate. Please tell me more. I am speaking primarily of love that emanates from the heart. Most men are in shock and afraid to love with their hearts. At least all of the ones I have met, so far. That is why I feel so sad and hopeless. Wow. This conversation went a whole lot deeper than I expected. Me too. It seems the news that Bob is making a monogamous commitment has brought up some spiritual issues for you. Yes. I would like to have an experience of completion on all levels before I die, including holy sexual union, which requires a partner who believes in it. Have you made a psychological connection between sex and death, orgasm and heaven? They have the same vibration, forming an orgasmic matrix around this planet via horizontal sexual connection raises the planetary vibration so there can be heaven on earth. It must be terribly frustrating to lose the opportunity for an experience of heaven on earth with your lover. Thank you much for listening and understanding. I feel better because you have cared enough to hear me out. You are so welcome.